Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. This is gonna be a classic daily read. And let's get started right away. We are gonna start with the Sacred Travel deck. Today we'll get a card for each of the twins and then we'll proceed with tarot to find out what the energies are. We'll get the response to additional question for each of the twins, and we'll get a sense for how the twins are feeling towards each other right now in their conscious mind. That's an important part of the story. Okay, let's get a card for Divine Feminines first of all. Okay, we have Mystic Healer. Healing energy flows through you. I love this. Yeah, so take time for yourself right now to bring in whichever theme of healing is coming through. It may be more obvious, of course, if you've experienced certain painful events that are calling to be healed, to heal your heart. For others, it may not be as obvious, but there's always some healing work to do. And whatever comes to your surface, whichever area of life you feel like you'd like to go better, to be smoother, to be more joyful or lighthearted, right? That's the part to work on next. And right now the universe is telling you that it's a perfect time because the universe is working with you on that. You're in this together. Also, I'm hearing that for some, the work on chakras, maybe chakra cleansing or balancing, is going to be really beneficial. For masculines, we have faraway places. Get ready for new horizons. Oh, I like this. And this may indicate travel, of course, but this may also indicate some uncharted territories, you know, spiritually, in terms of mindset, in terms of behavior, in terms of the way the masculines approach in certain situations. And yes, wink wink, what kind of situations are those? Again, they can be specifically around love relationships, or it can be any other type of interaction with other people, other types of connections. Similar rules apply, right? In terms of energy exchange, in terms of how high vibrational, how healthy and organic that interaction is. And it's almost like, since we're talking and those words came to my consciousness, organic and healthy, it's like a diet, right? It matters how you approach, and you can kind of get to the same, like get the same message across, but in a very different way. It have very different effect on yourself and on the other person involved, right? The same way as you can get full, you know, you can get filled up with different kinds of foods, but it's gonna make you feel a different way. And even if you don't feel that difference right away, then with time you definitely will tell the difference. Okay, for tarot, I decided to use the Muse Tarot. It's one of my extravagant collections with abstract art, but it's so beautiful. I love this deck. I don't use it a lot because it's so abstract. Sometimes it's like contemporary art, you know, like it doesn't always call on me, but I feel like today is the day. So let's get 7 cards, and then we'll get 7 cards of clarifiers, and then we'll take a look. Ten of Materials, bottom of the deck. Ooh, I love this. And because this is a tree in this deck, I have a feeling that both twins have long-term plans in mind. And there are first people here, as there should be in the Ten of Pentacles, you know, like the community vibe, the family vibe, that kind of legacy and that kind of coming together. Sorry guys. So there is this idea of the work that is being done, the efforts that are being put into ascension, into personal growth, that are not just for self. They're not just purely for individual growth, that are actually impacting the way twins can make a difference in their families, in their communities. And yes, for some it's going to be more towards the direction of generational karma, akashic records, past lives. For others, on that level of community. For others, it's going to be healing whole communities by leading by example, by showing how behaviors, habits, and whole lives can be turned around, right? Like where the person would start with, or how much trauma they would be through, and then how they can turn that into their success, into their victory, into their strengths. Beautiful. Okay, let's get some clarifiers. Okay. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Cups. Yeah, and there is a desire. I mean, this deck, it's a, it's a date picture, but I'm getting that it's not so much of a date, but it's the desire, that energy that I was just talking about. It actually, that insight and like seeing the bigger picture, or how much is bigger than myself, than yourself. It is actually bringing out more of capacity to love, to show empathy, to be there for other people among twins. I mean, the twins are getting that vibe, that energy, that they have more love to give, that they do want to help people, support them, show them the way if necessary, whichever way they can. Okay, so for the feminines, we have Seven of Materials clarified by King of Cups in reverse. So I feel like there is some emotion at hand, some kind of bad feeling, or maybe some sort of heartache. And I spoke about healing at the beginning for the feminine, so it kind of makes sense. So there is some sort of heartache that the feminine is choosing not to focus on right now, for better or for worse, right? It's almost like, I'm not gonna let that take over, right? And the focus is instead on planting seeds or creating paths in the material realm. It can be connected with career, of course, but it can be just kind of like building up your life, improving your lifestyle, again, your habits, behaviors, maybe working on addictions, right? It's like, okay, I need to invest in that long-term future. And when in doubt, like, there's no point in wasting energy in just being upset or being hurt, right? And the choice right now is investing that energy into the prosperous future, whatever that is for you. For some, it will be connected with finances. For others, it's not gonna be like that, but it's some sort of resources. Can be different types of resources. For masculines, we have Six of Emotions and clarified by Ace of Swords. So this is definitely going back to childhood or working with inner child, right? For some, it will be remembering certain childhood memories, certain experiences, and seeing some connection with what happened there when certain needs were not satisfied, and how it causes projections in the adult life, and the way they treat other people around them, or the way they behave in certain uncomfortable situations. But what I'm also getting is for others, sorry guys, there we go. For others, this is inner child work, so this is recognizing, without necessarily remembering the events of the past, but recognizing the deeper wounding or the deeper gap between certain lack of joy or happiness right now, right? And it doesn't even have to be a specific trauma. It can even be things like I have so much in my life and I'm still not happy. Why is that? Right? Or maybe they even have, I don't know, family, friends around them, right? But like they check the boxes, but something is still off, right? So this is the time when they're getting some insight, some download, some understanding. What are they really looking for? What speaks to their soul? What makes them happy on the deeper level, where they don't just make it look like they are happy, or they're not just happy because there are other people around, right? If we're talking about connection, but this is something real, something deep that doesn't need any external validation, and it doesn't need to look a certain way, where a lot of times the masculines would be looking for those kind of, they'd be looking to recognize, you know, where are those people, like my people, right? Or where is that one, my person, right? With the way they look, the way they behave, certain beliefs, right? Now it's all coming, the foreground is about the energy and the feeling around it, around the person, of course. Additional question. Ace of Inspiration clarified by the moon. Wow. This is like secret source of creativity and art expression. And we just had the new moon. It wasn't the full moon, but still, it was a lunar event. It was an eclipse. It was a big deal. And it's bringing about like certain ideas of the desire and the passion that was inside, right? That wants to break out. Hence the Ace of Wands here, right? Like this creative self, this need to express themselves, right, in a unique way, right? So how is the feminine going about this unique self-expression? The Fool and the Judgment. Look at all these major arcanas. Wow. Actually, that they both have feminine figures in themselves. I like that with the Fool, it's like happening in the outer space somewhere. Basically, you know, for them, it's like this love affair with the divine, with the universe itself, right? It's complete trust. It's complete clarity in communication and messages. It's like this, I'm getting like this highly inspirational kind of orgasmic feeling, right? Like, wow, it just is, it exists, it doesn't need any work, it's just there. It's all just about accessing it, right? Like putting the ego aside, putting certain negative emotions aside, and recognizing this beauty, this blessing, this, I don't want to say this gifts, yeah, this gifts really. For the masculines, we have Nine of Voices clarified by Eight of Wands. Okay, so the masculines, for the masculine self-expression is often like they get, you see even here, there is this array of inspired energy, and I like that it's orange because to me it speaks of sacral chakra, right? So they take it in, but the negative self-talk, the self-sabotage is coming in, and that's when it turns into anxiety, and that's when either they feel like it's not worth pursuing because it's not going to be great, it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be something that they can be proud of, or their friends and family can be proud of, and then to them it means that it's not worth pursuing, or they just feel like they like it's not worth it, basically, right? Like, why would I do it? I don't really have time for it, things like that, which is essentially a negative self-talk, because there is a desire to do that, it's part of that request for joy, for happiness, but it's often not being fulfilled because of that negative self-talk. How are feminines feeling for masculines right now? Knight of Voices with the Star. Oof. Yeah, so another night, they want to communicate in an honest and clear way with the kind of high vibe energy, like a bigger picture where we're not being petty and hurt about little things. We keep the bigger picture in mind. But that doesn't just mean ignore what's going on, right? That wouldn't be truthful communication. That wouldn't be sincere. It means let's figure that out. Let's work on it while we focus on similar goals in similar direction. And that is what matters. And that's where the feminine see that connection with the masculine. That we want similar things, we have similar values, and we want to go in the same direction. Masculines to feminines. 7 of emotions clarified by the Fool. I like that there is this synchronicity with the Fool energy. But you know what? When the feminine is following that vibe of deep trust towards the divine, towards the universe, and having those insights and feeling blessed, the Judgment and the Fool that we saw, then this energy comes along. And look at it again, there is also a feminine figure in this Fool card. Guess why? And it's kind of on the back of it, it's a clarifier. So the masculines actually see in so many opportunities in their life, so many options in a good way, like that there is so much that the universe offers them. And they see it because they get inspired by how much the feminine can achieve, right? How much they have achieved already, how much they are, what kind of person they are, or they have become, you know? In the earliest stages of union, and I'm hearing that for a lot of these DMs, it was annoying, frustrating, there was a lot of jealousy there, or inferiority complex. And when the masculines go into that higher space, when they ascend, when they're further along in the journey, they're starting to see this as inspiration. Even if at first it looks like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing, I'm gonna use that too. Like, yeah, that's a pretty cool way to look at it, right? To go about it. Oh, that's how they can do 10 different things in their life. You know, like, it seems a little bit kind of like surface level focus, but as long as it's unlocking this potential for masculines to see a lot more and not have the tunnel vision and not focus on, I don't know, having a 3D job and providing for the family, but something like to make it to cover the expenses, right? But they're going into something unconventional and something that is given them that joy and inspiration and happiness. That's where the magic is happening. So well done, feminines, for being that inspiration, being that beacon for them. I'm gonna finish here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very soon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.